On this episode of the Third Gallon Podcast.
If there's one thing I know about your common American, we don't follow instructions well.
After stealthily raiding the Vault of Secrets.
You snuck into Vault 14, which is Lovelace's personal office suite. And you went through her papers and her staff's papers, and you learned some important things. There was this gnome that had false charges trumped up against him, who apparently was helping supply the raw materials to manufacture pyronite.
Micah's angels work through their new leads.
And then you also learned about this wealthy aristocrat who apparently supports Lovelace in some way, shape, or form, called Christia Tumand. But you found tickets to an art gala. You think, from the documents you got, you don't think Lovelace will necessarily be there, but if this person's connected to Lovelace, it's a good person to start getting leads on what Lovelace has been up to and where she is.
And get ready for a high society art gala.
Chester would like to do some research. If there are any gangs with nefarious intentions trying to scope out the place or have any plans on the street. Word on the street.
We're hot on the case.
We procured some potent poison, right?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I don't like the way you said that.
We could just destroy the leader who is gunning for this militia increase.
Hypothetically.
Now.
So I wanted to ask you guys, we like to play tabletop RPGs, but there's a lot of other fun things you can play on a tabletop. One of them being board games. I think we've talked about board games before, but kind of in the same vein is party games, which aren't really necessarily things with a board, but like things that you can do with a big crowd of people.
Yeah.
Like a house party or something like that.
Does it have to, so you're asking our favorites?
So like, yeah, let's talk about some other things that we can play on a table game-wise that aren't just TTRPGs.
So it has to be like a board game, party game, or at least a card game.
Board game or like party game, classify which one you want. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I just played a new one that I had never heard of before, actually last night. It's called Poetry for Neanderthals.
Yeah.
That's
From
the one
Exploding Kittens.
From
your
Exploding
little
Kittens.
brother's wife got for Christmas.
It looks really great if you haven't played it because you see it comes with like an inflatable club that you're supposed to beat people with in the game. Basically, it's like charades where you get like a word. There's like two teams, and you have to get a word and you have to describe it, and people have to guess it. Usually, there's also two. There's like an easier one and a harder one, but people have to guess your word, and you have a certain amount of time, and the more cards you can get people to guess, more points you get for your team. And so, like, the person next to you has the bonk stick, and they beat you if you say one of the words on the card. So that's normal charades, except for the bonk stick. And you lose points if you say a word on the card. But the other catch is it's poetry through the Neanderthals. So you have to use single-syllable words only when describing the word on the card. Why use big word when small word use trick?
Small?
Not just few, but also
you don't
small.
know syllables, do
I'm very
you?
bad at them.
But it's
I'm not
so
gonna
much
deny
fun because you have to like figure out how to talk caveman-like.
If your chin drops, it's a syllable. Small.
Syllable. Not necessarily chin drop. You clap them out.
It's close. It's close, though. It works most of the time.
That's fair. Yeah.
But it's a really fun game. I forget some of the fun things that we encountered last night, but I think I was trying to describe Wall Street. It was a 3-pointer. And I was like, road where rich man buys stock or something like that. It's so much fun. It's a goofy little game. Anything by Exploding Kittens, in my experience so far.
Mention
is great.
Exploding Kittens.
Okay,
That's a fun game, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have any party games or board games you like, Jacob?
I'm not going to lie. I like party games up to a point. I like to play them for about 10, 15 minutes. Then I kind of get
Yeah,
bored.
he gets bored fast.
So I like apples to apples. That's fun to play. There's one that we went to an amazement with my little brother and his wife. And
no, we did not go. We went to GalaxyCon.
GalaxyCon, that's right. And we got a party game there, at least a booster pack for it. That was like, you're given two things and you have to try and sell them. Then, like halfway through it, you're dealt a card, except, and there's a negative to it, you still have to try and sell it. And it's a fun variety on the apples to apples format. I really like that one. But if I'm being honest, if I have to choose party games, like almost any big group activity a youth group played, I loved. Like Mafia.
Yeah.
If they dealt out the cards, there was the assassin game where you could blow like the Q-tips at each other, which I consider all these party games. It's what they are, basically. And then there was one I played with Kat's youth group one time where it was like a combination of charades and hide and go seek. And it was great. It was just super fun.
It was our version of drawing one.
Pictophone, pictogram, whatever.
Yeah. You see, the trick was you had those, but the youth pastor was hiding across the church. A church that easily ran about, 800. So he had a lot of places to hide.
Big.
And you had to find him to get your clue, and that was the real hard part.
But if I had to choose one, I always had a soft spot for Mafia. Which is really weird because it makes it sound like I would have really, really enjoyed Among Us. I never played it. I have not once played it. I think I would enjoy it, but I only ever play games with people I know, and I don't know enough people to play Among Us.
Yeah, that is the problem with that game. You either have to play with randoms or, know a lot of people.
You know what? If anyone doesn't know what Mafia is, easy. It's basically Among Us. You're just dealt cards, and then everybody puts their head down. They choose someone to kill. If you get like a certain card, everybody lifts their heads up, and then accusations start flying. And you gotta try and guess who is the killer.
Is it like Heads Up, 7 Up?
I mean, there's a similarity because you put your heads down, but not really the rest of it.
Okay.
It was really fun. You could have varieties where you have a police officer who could choose one person to protect. And, they would choose that when everybody's heads are down. So you have to try and guess who the mafia is going to kill. You could have a nurse, or was it the nurse who would protect by, healing them? I can't remember. It's been a very long time since I've played, but I enjoyed it.
There was another game we played last night as well, but it was like you got an app. It's called Dark Stories, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, Dark Stories. So it's like an app you get, and it's a very simple game. You pick like one of 3 modes, like easy, medium, or hard, and you get a story, a prompt that you read to people, but they have to figure out what the whole story actually is, and they can only ask the person reading it yes or no questions. So like one example of one we got was, it was like, kid kicks a soccer ball at a woman's head, and she thanks him for it. And you have to figure out the story of why with yes or no questions. That one was an easy one because it was like she was about to walk into the street and didn't see a truck, and the soccer ball hit her head and made her notice.
My man almost got isukai'd.
Yeah, that's what I said last night. Truck-kun was denied. That's a really fun one as well. Then we did a medium difficulty one after that was like fucking impossible because it makes you get to where on the more difficult ones you have to ask the fundamental questions of, is the person a human? Are they an adult? Dumb questions like that where they subvert your expectations or whatever.
That's interesting. I like that. That sounds pretty fun. It's a unique take on 20 questions or similar.
Yeah, it's different because you're trying to figure out a story, not a thing. It was very fun though. It was a very fun game. Gerard, do you have any party games you like or board games?
Jackbox games where you have to draw.
Oh yeah.
Namely because
you would.
That's what I'd shut up.
Like you would enjoy, say, like Pictionary or a spin-off of it.
Yeah. You talked about poetry for Neanderthals earlier.
Yeah.
It's so silly to see people struggle to name things with 1-syllable words.
So dumb, not hard. Use small word.
Describe to me a flamethrower.
Throw fire.
Stick,
2 syllables.
throw, fire.
You already did it.
Throw?
Fire.
We said fire last night is a single syllable because it's up for debate. It's up for debate.
Just say it like a southern fire.
Telestrations. Hold on, I'm going to Google this.
I think it's up for debate, but we ruled it was in bounds.
Syllables. In fire. Wow, that's a common question, unless they're listening. Fire has 1 syllable.
Hot dog.
But you are free to play with the words in poetry. This must be specific. Oh, this is regular poetry.
But wouldn't fire be a no-go, like on a word like flamethrower?
No, flame is.
Flame.
Oh, okay.
You're just not allowed to say the word.
Gun, shoot, flame. Flamethrower. Easy.
Tank on back full of gas.
flammen
fire.
weapon. It wirft the flammen. It is a lot of fun. Although you were talking about Apples to Apples, one of my favorite party games of all time.
Classic, yeah.
Is
It's classic.
No, the penultimate form of Apples to Apples is Cards Against Humanity.
Not Cards Against Humanity. It made me realize that I didn't know about some of the atrocities of the world.
I see why people like it because it's ha 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 forbidden topic. But then you play it and you're just like, I feel bad.
Yeah.
I don't know.
See, this is why I like Apples to Apples, because you can make it just as dirty or as clean as you want it to be.
But Cards Against Humanity, I don't know. It plays to my shitposting style sense of humor really well. Although it depends on the group. Because our group, we were talking about this earlier. Every person I feel like picks a side whenever they hit middle school for the rest of their life, what their sense of humor is going to be about. And it's either like sex jokes or poop jokes. And we are poop joke gang.
Act like I had any choice.
Bodily functions that are not related to sex. Poop,
Oh, Mr.
vomiting,
Gassy stomach issues over
gas.
here.
What has happened?
And if you play with the wrong, sense of humor style people, Cards Against Humanity can definitely go hard one direction.
Actually, never played Cards Against Humanity.
You should try it at least once with the right group of people. It's very silly. We would not record that.
I looked up party games on Google, and the top 2 games were Codenames and Mafia.
Really?
2 games we've mentioned.
I've never been a fan of it's like Mafia and like Werewolf or something like that.
Yeah, Werewolf is
Similar.
like what they did with the online, or when they tried to make it into an actual card game.
I've
rather
never
than just with the deck.
I don't like Mafia. And
I've
those.
never been into Mafia. I've played it before.
I hate that stuff.
I've never been into it.
Okay, I can't lie reliably or convincingly.
I mean, you don't have to.
No,
I
I
like
can't do it.
how when they turned it into a video, Among Us. Actually, you can. There is reasoning there. It's not just lift your head, kill somebody, put your head down. You can see people moving around. That's neat. But Mafia, I've always had a soft spot for it.
Another fun party game that involves lying. Liar's Dice.
I suck at
Liar's
that game.
Dice is great
That's
too.
so fun.
Wait, would you? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Liar's Dice is really fun.
Especially since you can just play it with a red solo cup. Granted that you have, 2 or 3 D&D freaks in the area.
Yeah. They consider Exploding Kittens a party game.
I love Exploding
I don't know if
Kittens.
I'd consider that a party game.
It doesn't have to be a game that supports like 12 people. It can be like
Yeah, it
6.
could just
I mean,
be
I
like...
just-
It's like a game that's just designed for lighthearted fun.
I look at it this way. Party
You're not sitting
games
down the Monopoly.
are like about being social, whereas
Oh.
other games are about like strategy and winning.
Yeah,
And Exploding Kitten strikes me as winning rather than being social.
It's also funny.
Another really good party game that I find is also really good for role-playing games is Truth or Dare. Just straight up.
That's a classic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Truth or Dare is fun.
Playing that helps you get into character. It helps other people start to flesh out their own characters.
Yeah, we've done that before. You look disgusted, Jacob. Did you see another
Are you
man
looking at
eating
the
a potato?
They think Munchkin's a party game. That's just a straight up strategy game. I'm getting
Yeah.
angry at this list.
You ask the internet, especially Google, and like ever since the age of AI, it's just
Yeah.
going to give you trash.
Yeah.
Mario Party.
Oh,
Mario
Party's-
Party.
yeah, Mario
I've heard the
Party,
new
yeah.
one is irritating.
Oh.
It has fun mini games. Thumbs up.
Well,
So
at that point in
I
time, that's all
said
you need.
earlier that Just Dance counts as a party game, but all my friends like, no.
I agreed.
If you
It's
get
great.
all together and dance and bump into each other, it's funny and social.
Oh, it's
and
a
you
great
argue
party
over the
game.
songs.
I agreed with you, just not in the way you described it.
Yeah.
One person dancing and you laughing at them.
No,
that's
all
party
4 of you
game.
up there and you're all the band.
that's-
See that? And then you bump into each other. It's fun.
Then you punch each other.
Yeah, that's a good way to get socked in the jaw.
That's how you bond.
That's why they have the 2 different dance types next to each other. So usually if somebody's going high, the other person is
they're
going low.
designed
But
to
that-
not let you bump
That
into each other as
means
much.
people know how to follow instructions on a screen. If there's one thing I know about your common American, we don't follow instructions well.
I had a scarring experience while doing Just Dance at one point in time. I was doing it and I was scoring okay. They said, "Oh, look at," and then said my dead name, doing their own thing over there, and I'm like, "I'm beating you. Shut up."
We were talking also a good thing for parties is stuff like Just Dance or like anything on the Wii almost, any
Wii
multiplayer
Sports.
game. Mario Kart, Super Smash Brothers. my beloved. There's a lot of good video games like
Pikachu
that.
versus Pikachu.
Oh, that was so much
An
fun.
all-out Pikachu.
All Pikachu fight. That was great.
Oh yeah.
Or the all Sonic fight on Smash Bros. Ultimate was
We all
really fun.
Killed ourselves.
Just rolling off the edge.
Just yelling, someone's got the hammer.
Oh, man.
I found a fun looking game because now I'm just looking at party games.
Yeah.
I'm hosting a potluck. This on-theme game, blah, 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 blah. You have a host who's hosting a potluck. There's a secret rule. Whoever brings an item that fits the rule are allowed to come. For example, the rule may be everybody has to bring something that begins with the same letter as their name. And then you just got to trial and error until you figure out the rule.
That's fun.
So it's very
don't
similar
like that.
to
Very icebreakery game.
another one I think we
Oh,
mentioned.
it
Dark
sounds like
Stories.
something you'd do
Yeah.
at a staff meeting. No, bad. Staff meeting icebreaker, and then they'll tie it into the topic you've been forced to come
But
for.
if you didn't play at a staff meeting, it could be fun.
I love icebreaker
My heart
stuff.
rate went up thinking about that.
I like icebreaker stuff as well.
It's very fun.
Yeah.
Not in my world. In my
We-
world, icebreakers are spawn of Satan.
Bro, we literally do an icebreaker every episode we record.
This
it's
is
called
fun.
Banter. Yes,
So
because it's not for a
icebreakers
meeting.
aren't the problem.
It's
your
meetings.
job that's the problem.
Then again, we've known that since like 2019.
Yeah.
Another fun thing to do at parties, karaoke.
No, but that's
I-
just personal.
My song like lyric repertoire is not big for pop music, and so like I feel out of my depth. I like music, I like singing, but like when I'm forced to choose between a bunch of like pop songs, I'm like, my fallback is basically any of the big hits by Queen because I know those,
Yes.
and everyone loves that. I mean, you could go for the easy one, which is like "We Will Rock You," but if you pull out Bohemian Rhapsody, everyone's gonna have a good time, despite you singing it well or not. Jacob, you look very uninterested in talking about karaoke.
I don't like singing in front of people.
We should go to karaoke at some point in time.
I will witness it.
I think that you should try it, my man.
Like,
Which
can
is
I
worse?
sing Living on a Prayer or Don't Stop Believing?
Which is worse for you, Jacob, singing in front of people or dancing in front of people? Jacob has pushed his mic away. I think he's going to quit.
Oh, man.
Don't you use my bell against me.
One's out. We already got Jacob out this round.
I'm out.
Another one bites the dust.
Burn this microphone to the ground.
Eat it.
We'll start batting it like Drow used to. I guess if I did karaoke, I could survive off of VeggieTale songs. But the whole point is not that I mind singing. It's that I don't like singing in front of people.
Jacob busting it down sexual style, singing in the belly of the whale.
Bad.
Out of the well.
I'm in the belly, in the
In the
belly
belly
of the
of
whale.
the well.
I'm in the belly of the whale.
It's an underwater tail. It's a tight squeeze. It's a good.
Yes! Bust it!
Go, go,
Dang.
go.
moment
Maybe we should go do some karaoke.
See, I've also been in I've been to a mini rave before. It was a nerd rave, so it doesn't count.
Nerd rave!
And it's like the moment I get any eyeball on me, I stop dead.
Just close your eyes.
And I leave.
Just close your eyes.
That's what happened. I was dancing. Someone looked at me and I stopped and said, I don't think this is for me. And I got out of there. And Amazement was a unique time.
And when you close your eyes.
This is why he refused to wear a costume when we went to GalaxyCon, because people would look at him.
I didn't refuse to. I just didn't make a costume because I was lazy.
Nah, people would have looked at you.
You have a
just used
costume
lazy
on
as
right
an
now.
excuse.
You showed up to recording in costume.
Yeah.
You're wearing a staff shirt like Seuss from Gravity Falls.
You have the question mark on it.
Seuss, you just gotta shave your head.
But
Well,
Seuss
use
wears
my
a
hair
hat.
while I got it.
Hat,
I don't
hat.
like hats.
No, he has hair under his hat.
He does. It's just not a lot. Oh, no.
I love you anyway, Jacob.
Oh, man.
I love you anyway.
Well, maybe there's karaoke in Alkenstar because centuries before the Starstone was raised, the Wizard Kings next and get war with one another,
Gotta pick a song.
scarring the the emotional damage.
Scoring the emotional damage of the wasteland.
From the glowing ashes of the men away arose Alkenstar, the city of smog, a metropolis of airships, skyscrapers, factories, and clockwork wonders. To the world, Alkenstar is a pinnacle of innovation and determination in the face of insurmountable odds. On its streets,
I bet that you could do the real Slim Shady with this.
And Alkenstar is a non-stop race to stay ahead of the competition, and is here the desperate group, hungry for revenge, living on the edge of the law, hunts for the ones who cast them out. They are the Outlaws of Alkenstar.
And normally he just keeps going when you interrupt him. Something about him just stopping and staring at you was a
My
bit
brain
unnerving.
wheels came to a screeching
He's like,
halt.
how dare. Oh,
Bum,
you know
bum,
what?
bum, bum, bum.
Next time, if we do
Centuries
carry...
before? Yes.
What?
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 I
Yeah.
say next time if I ever do karaoke, I'll do Spirit in the Sky, but you're an AC 130H Spectre gunner during Operation Desert Storm.
That's a good
What
karaoke.
the hell is happening?
I'm glad you like that. That's a great video. That's a whole rabbit hole right there.
We'll say that for another banter. Oh wait, hold on. Let me go to my notes. Banter. What a banter was
No, just sing I Want It That Way.
fave or it
Oh my god.
party game.
I did that whenever I was streaming with Hans. I told him that was stuck in my head, so we started bouncing it back and forth. One of us would do Tell Me Why,
Tell me why.
just randomly, and the other would respond. It was really fun.
Tell me why.
To business.
Ain't nothing but a mistake. Tell me why.
We got loops.
I never wanna hear you say I want it that way.
Jacob brought his bell, and I'm having too much fun with it.
I will confiscate that bell.
I'll buy my own bell.
I hope you do. Then we can have two bells.
Two bells, having sex. Anyway, last time you were in the Vault
Why?
of Secrets.
I thought we were poop jokes friends.
That's just, listen, we're
That's staying in
stupid
the
body humor
episode.
jokes. But it's not actual flirting going on. We're just talking about the song Two Trucks Having Sex, which is hilarious, by the way. Anyway, trucks aside, sex aside, when we last played, you got some loot. So before we get into our recap, let's go ahead and deal with that. Schefter.
Chapter.
Chapter Wiblium. Chapter.
He shoved some loot in his bag from like an evidence locker.
Yeah, girl.
So
We stole from the cops.
Tell us what you got.
you
tell what
you found
I
a
got.
rune.
What I really
got.
Oh
All right.
my god.
So rune.
A rune, a lasso that
Oh, you're
looks
not- okay.
magical, some dust, and some ammunition.
Oh, well, I have to roll to find out what these are.
I wonder what you'll roll.
Crafting.
Yes, actually.
Well, I mean, I can roll crafting regardless because of skills. So
Yeah.
36.
Oh my god.
I have a plus 20
Two.
crafting. Crafting is literally my best
I rolled
skill.
a 2.
Psych
What do
here.
I know?
It's a cat toy.
You found a cat toy and
toy.
just
It's a cat toy.
a cat toy. There's an invisibility rune.
Oh my god.
I looked at one of those. Rune of
Do tell.
invisibility.
It's for your armor. Activate once per day with one action. Whispering the command word, you become invisible for 1 minute, gaining the effects of a second level invisibility spell.
Yeah, and the way the runes work, if I remember correctly, is you have your potency rune, and you can get another additional rune, or you can get however many extra runes as you have your potency, except the striking rune does not count against that, if I recall correctly.
What about resilience for armor?
And resiliency, I also believe, does not count against.
Okay.
So you can have a +1 striking blah weapon or a +1 resiliency blah armor. You might have to double check me on that, but I just looked at this stuff recently. I think that's how it works.
So that's worth 500 gold.
Jacob's eyes rolled into his head.
What a face. That was the nut emoji
We're
right there.
still base silver on this sheet. I have to
Base.
make sure of that.
Not cringe.
Correct.
So that's 5,000 silver.
Oh, that would have paid for muggling.
Yep. Actually, that's exactly how much you paid for muggling.
Yep.
The next thing is the lasso is a lawbringer's lasso. This enchanted lasso is a net, which is an item that can be used to grapple creatures up to 30 feet away.
Oh.
Requires a DC 18 athletics checks to force open and has an escape DC of 18. So it's worth 100 gold.
And it's also worthless.
Yeah, because that DC is
It's garbage.
hella low.
Yeah.
Jeez. Wow.
How much is it worth to sell, though?
500.
That's
silver.
delightful, though.
The lasso is 100 gold.
So we'll get 50
oh,
gold.
useless.
Yar. The dust is Lich Dust, which is a 9th level item. Dust salvaged from the remains of a destroyed lich has paralytic properties that make it a valuable poison. Activate is 1 action to interact. Saving throw DC 28 fortitude. Onset 10 minutes. Maximum duration 6 minutes. Stage 1, fatigued for a minute. Stage 2, 5d6 poison damage and fatigued. Stage 3, 5d6 poison damage, fatigued, and paralyzed. So it's a poison you use on other things.
But it wouldn't be like an in-combat poison because it has an onset of 10 minutes.
Yar.
Okay. How much is it worth?
110 gold pieces.
0. Isn't that an item specific to Outlaws and Alkenstar?
It might be. I don't know.
It might be. All right.
The ammunition is explosive ammunition. Also 9th level item.
How many of those?
Just 1.
Okay.
A very expensive bullet. 130. This piece of ammunition, 130 gold. This piece of ammunition is coated in gritty black soot. When activated, the explosive ammunition hits a target, and the missile explodes in a 10-foot burst, dealing 66 fire damage to each creature in the area, including the target. Each creature must attempt a basic DC 25 reflex save.
That's not bad.
That's also 130 gold.
Nice.
Those are the items you found.
That rune is going to be pretty nice.
Someone
for
could use that.
Someone in our party.
What? If only.
That rune's going to be really nice for someone in our party. This might be the first item we fight over in this party.
It's like if only I was still Al.
I know, right?
Invisibility plus sneak attack.
If it was Al, there would be no question who gets it. If it was Al, you might already have this rune.
True that.
I want it.
I also want it.
Honestly, I think you two.
We're going to do a roll off.
It doesn't sound very flashy for a swashbuckler, to be honest.
That's right.
So
Swashbucklers
let the
don't
two
hide.
of you rolled off. No, swashbucklers do not hide.
They ain't cowards.
It hurt a little bit to hide to get into that
Chester
carriage.
is coward.
Chester's a coward.
You two roll off on it. I'm good.
Honestly, though, if I'm being fair,
How dare.
you could probably use it more than I could because you have spells that don't directly do harm. So if you went invisible, even in a combat,
And I have a climb speed.
and you have a climb speed, if you don't, because it's regular invisibility. If you hurt somebody, you come out of it.
Yeah.
But you have stuff you can do that don't directly lead to hurting, so you actually might be able to benefit from it more. Chester was willing to share it, but he'll give it.
It's like, no, I don't want it.
Sidekick
Yay.
can have it.
It doesn't
Yay.
suit my character.
On the little list.
But if I were Al, I would have fought y'all
Here, I'll set
tooth
it
and
up on
nail
your-
for that thing.
It's so much
If you were
money.
Al, we would have given it to you.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Lawbringers
One guaranteed sneak attack is what it would be.
Lasso is garbage.
So how much does it cost to buy that?
It's worth 500 gold.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which means if you get a new piece of armor, it's going to be a little bit more expensive for you to transfer stuff over, but it shouldn't be that bad.
Yeah. And this isn't already transferred over. We're gonna have to wait until we have downtime.
Yeah. Or, I mean, I imagine because of how fast-paced this book is, our kind
You
DM
can
might be merciful
just-
on us.
Put it on your John.
Yeah. You have to pay to get it transferred, but I think if you just have the rune, you just smack it on there.
Can you do that for me? I don't know how to make the
Go to your armor?
how to do it. I'm asking if I can have it done for me.
Okay.
Okay, let's see.
Psyche, you're going to have to just remember that you have this rune. It's on your armor, but it's not
Okay.
showing up as an action in your...
All right. It says invisibility padded armor. I will remember this.
Yeah, it shows up there, but... I don't know.
The real question is, do we keep the explosive ammunition? Because Chester could use this when activated. Hits a target, so he has to hit with it. Chester has a gun.
No big birds on the run. Elmo has a gun.
Chester will take the explosive Elmo. I think
The explosive Elmo.
The explosive
You
Elmo.
do your fire Elmo pose every time.
Elmo says you're gone.
All right, cool. So with that loot out of the way, by way of a brief recap, last time we sat down to play, you guys stuck up a stagecoach with a bunch of 0-level punks. The punks got...
They stuck up a stagecoach.
you told them to.
They stuck up a stagecoach.
They got slaughtered. You snuck onto the stagecoach, and you entered the Vault of Secrets, which is a shieldmarshal stronghold, basically, for their offices and various things. You snuck into Vault 14, which is Lovelace's personal office suite. and you went through her papers and her staff's papers, and you learned some important things. You found out that there was this gnome that's had false charges trumped up against him and is going to be executed day after tomorrow, I believe, right?
That sounds right.
Who is apparently was helping supply the raw materials to manufacture pyronite. So it's a loose end. That's a Wrangle Feruza, a gnome, I believe. You also found out about some
He's lucky he's
person
not a
named
halfling.
Dash that's connected to Wrangle that Lovelace seems to be trying to work up a case against or trying to do a hit on. And then you also learned about this wealthy aristocrat who apparently supports Lovelace in some way, shape, or form called Christia Tumend. Is that the right name?
Christia Tomb Inn.
Got it.
Tom Bend.
Tom
Tomb
Bend.
Inn.
Great. Don't say it. Anyway, you found also
like the Tom.
I will you so much. I
It's
have
a
several
sensor.
sticks. This bell?
Yeah.
It's a bell. You, Jacob.
Oh.
But-up. This bell's great. But you found tickets to an art gala called the Ironmaker's Art Gala. You think, from the documents you got, you don't think Lovelace will necessarily be there, but if this person's connected to Lovelace, it's a good person to start getting leads on what Lovelace has been up to and where she is. So that's your next lead. And the party, the Ironmaker's Art Gala is tomorrow night.
And the hanging is the day after tomorrow.
Right.
Like
We're
the
gonna-
movie.
Yes.
Okay.
We're going to have a busy few
We're
days.
going to have to kill some wolves.
So what do you guys want to do? You guys have just left the Vault of Secrets.
Go back to the bar.
You're going to go back to the bar?
Like, what else would we do?
We got to talk.
Everything
We
else
gotta let people know.
is like happening the next day.
I also need to, retransfer my striking rune to the sword cane.
Not yet. We haven't decided we're going to do that yet.
Well, if we go to the art gala, I want
Yeah.
to go to the art gala.
You should just keep it on the sword cane,
The
dog.
Grand Galloping Gala?
It doesn't
Grand
have the
Galloping
1d8
Gala?
deadly.
It's the best place to be.
Oh my god, we're such
That's the first
dorks.
thing I thought of, and I didn't say it because you guys would tease me.
Or Pinky.
Pinky. All right, but you're going to head back to the bar.
Yeah.
You get back. I think it's only like 2 o'clock in the afternoon at this point
We are so efficient.
because you guys got up
Uh-huh.
hell early.
We robbed that and we got out of there.
Uh-huh.
Within like 20 minutes.
I gave you hero points for it.
Yeah, you did.
I didn't remember putting that down.
Yeah, you all have 1 hero point right
Yay!
Did I use a bottle cap last time?
now. I think you did,
I
or a
think I
hero
did.
point.
I used
I
a
think I
hero
used
point.
both. Anywho,
Anywhom.
to the
Barrel and bullet.
to the bar.
You get back to the bar.
At the gala.
People are eating late lunch. I swear to God.
Chester goes and reaches behind the bar. He grabs a bottle of milk this time,
Okay.
and he'll go into the
I
back
run past
room.
you and take it.
You go to the back room and you sit down and you wait, and like 10 minutes pass. No Phoebe.
Chester's not going to do it. He's sitting there.
I'm gonna go look for Phoebe.
Phoebe wasn't manning the bar when you got in.
That's okay.
She's fucking dead. We're
Phoebe
gonna
should-
find her corpse.
Hot dog.
No!
We own the bar now.
Whoa.
My bar now.
Our bar.
There are other people who run this bar.
Just ask
Who?
these other people.
There actually is
We-
another
we met
bartender.
some of the
We haven't
characters.
Okay.
spoke about them since book 1, but there are other people.
I had all these characters set up for talking about the people at the Barrel and Bullet.
I remember the pug guy.
between
Yeah, that's the one I remember.
between the adventure path going 95 miles an hour and you guys only doing the thing where Chester comes in, reaches behind the bar and grabs something and then walks in the back room before immediately beelining it to his conspiracy board. We haven't met anyone else.
Chester's hung out down there, just not on camera.
Exactly. Yeah, Phoebe, don't come in.
I'll go find her.
Phoebe, you knock on Phoebe's door and
She is dead.
you just hear,
Oh, I'm gonna bang really loud on her door.
Alkenstar, what?
I brought you a bottle of oil.
What? Oil?
We're back.
Oh, 5 more minutes.
She drunk?
No,
No.
she just didn't sleep last night.
I didn't sleep last night, you
Just had
asshole.
She had a little drink and put a little nightcap in the middle of the day.
Oh, that's me. I have a nice day drink.
I'm just going to find her a
This is
coffee.
Gat'll be speaking. I'm not in this scene.
Just kind of be
Just bring her some black coffee.
I'm not here. It's nice to meet you guys.
Ghelfi, what are you doing in bed with Phoebe?
No, I'm not in bed with Phoebe. I just stole the camera from the GM. Hi.
Anywho.
You wake
Hi.
Phoebe up. Phoebe
Yep,
is
that's me.
not thrilled. What happened? The thing go well?
Rousing success.
Yes.
Oh, we did really good. Sorry, that was Jacob. Trying to be Chester.
Okay.
We believe that we were also not perceived.
Oh, really?
Yes.
How'd you do it?
Invisibility potions. And a lot of dead goblins.
Dead goblins?
Don't worry about it.
I'm worrying about it.
We contracted the powder keg punks.
Oh, they talk to you after everything?
They were most
Yeah.
helpful.
All I gotta do is give them some bombs. It's a win-win scenario.
Okay, fair enough. But what happened? Did they go to the vault with you?
No, they died.
They died so we could get on the carriage.
Oh, did they? Oh,
One
well,
left.
okay. That's
We're also handling the gang problem in this city.
We're efficient.
You could say that. Did you find anything interesting in the vault? And you got out?
Yes, there is a to-be tied-up end that's going to be executed tomorrow?
Day after tomorrow.
The day after tomorrow that we believe if we abscond with, we can get information.
Oh,
He was
excellent.
the supplier.
Oh, perfect.
And an art gala for someone that Loveless knows.
Who is it?
Chuman.
Tumind.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, fun fact about Christia. She's one of the political elite stuffy types here in Alkenstar. From what I know about her, she's really keen on Alkenstar having its own military with like conscription and beefing it up. She wants Alkenstar to be its own like big nation state, which, I don't know how much y'all know about politics in Alkenstar, everyone does their own thing. But politically speaking, we're technically a duchy part of Nex, but we're really our own city. But Christia Tumen is part of a group who really want Alkenstar to be like its own nation with its own army and stuff. It's kind of a dangerous play being between Nex and Geb as we are.
I mean, as much as Nex seems to be the aggressor in the battles between the two. Well, they started it.
That's a personal opinion, honestly. I have no idea which way or the other, but neither are great. But I do know Christia's been trying to get a bill sponsored that would require a bigger shield marshal force turned into kind of an army, beefing it up, and would require conscription. And Loveless is one of the prime candidates to be a leader of it.
Is she corrupt, or is Loveless trying to take advantage of this and make the army corrupt?
I don't know. I imagine it's Loveless trying to put herself in the foray to get more power, because Christia is the highfalutin noble person with ideals or whatever.
Do you like Christia?
I've never met her. This is just what I know.
What's your opinion of her politics?
She really is kind of a nationalist, is what I would say, in terms of how she views Alkenstar. She wants it to be its own nation. Her way of doing that is have our own army and to say, no, we're our own self, you can't step on us or whatever. But the problem with that is, if we do that, we could get run over by bigger places like Geb or Nex, potentially. It's a delicate balance of power.
Because technically speaking, right now, Nex wouldn't attack us because we're part of Nex.
Yeah.
But if we claim to be on our own, then we would have enemies on two sides.
Yeah. It's also just very unpopular, potentially to have all these people turn into an army, soldiers in an army out of nowhere, conscription and all that. It's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
But that's what she wants. I don't know if she's corrupt, but this is the ideal her and some people are pushing for. And Loveless definitely stands to gain from that, and I think that's why they would be friends.
Be a lot harder to kill Loveless if she's some kind of general.
It would be.
I have an idea. We procured some potent poison, right?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I don't like the way you said that.
We could just destroy the leader who is gunning for this militia increase.
Hypothetically.
Listen.
I will kill.
Hypothetically.
We need to take down Loveless. Going after a person with money on the upper crust of Alkenstar would be dangerous. I don't think even the Duchess would be able to absolve you of that. Plus, we don't know if she's caught up in the schemes in a corrupt way at all.
Yeah, she could actually be well-meaning, which is my only hold-up here. She could just want what's best for Alkenstar, and Loveless is taking advantage of it.
All you know so far is that they're not working together, they know each other, and she's a supporter, and has tickets to this event, but you don't know the details of that relationship.
Could we not just go to get information?
If we're lucky, Loveless will be at the event and we can handle things there. At the very least, we might be able to find out something. So here's the question, DM.
Uh-huh.
With these tickets, could we get into the event? Do the tickets have Loveless's name on them?
No, they're not named. They're just entry tickets.
Beautiful.
Good. So it's not like the steak place.
And they're not
No.
numbered.
And we could put on our disguise hats.
That's right.
And I actually know where she is. I'm not sure if the tickets have information on it, but her apartment flat thing where this is going to be going down is in a skyscraper in Grayson's Fingers. It's the Grayson's Fingers is a district on Skyside that's very well-to-do.
So we won't go to a gala?
Of course.
See some art? That's tomorrow, though. Another question for you. What do you know about this Hrangle Foruza that's going to be hanged in a few days?
No, not really. I mean, I know that I know of the execution that's going to happen, but I really don't know anything about that dude.
Where do executions happen?
Well, that should be happening at. This is like a newspaper clipping or something you found too.
And is it like in the middle of a town square? Is there only a few people that see it? A lot of people that see it?
I imagine some people come out for it, but it's going to be on the old bridge, which is a place that you would know.
I have a plan.
A public place?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay.
I will secure him in our bag, being that he is a small person,
Oh my God.
using the invisibility rune, and I will warp time around myself to go to a place approximately 500 feet away.
That actually sounds feasible.
Would it count as an attack?
To shove the bag over someone. Not if they let it happen willingly.
Yes.
The question is,
I will greet this man in his dreams tonight to tell him to expect it.
how you do what now?
I will speak to him in his dreams.
How you do that? Is this some of that? Is it magic? Is this magic?
Very much so.
Wow, that's interesting. It's not a bad idea. Like, if invisibility
Where
lasts
is he
for
being held,
10
though?
minutes.
I would have to see him in person.
Oh,
I don't know. He's
assume-
probably somewhere in the Vault of Secrets.
does he get visitors?
If he does, your chances of seeing him is going to be pretty slim with how close his execution is. And also, if any corrupt shield marshals know about you guys, like,
Hello, I am Chester, a wanted criminal, here to visit another
haven't-
wanted criminal.
We haven't used our hats today. I could make myself a halfling woman and claim to be his wife.
They might know who his wife is if he has one, but like a dear friend might work.
Or a
Sibling?
relative, distant,
Cousin.
second cousin.
Uncle.
Everybody's got a
Alright.
ton of cousins.
Twice removed.
I like how it's a gnome, but you're going to be a halfling who's
Oh, well.
blood related to him.
I didn't know that.
happen.
That's how you wouldn't
Anyway.
expect drow because they hate halflings.
Anyway, 20-meter radius emerald splash.
Anyway, 20-meter radius emerald splash.
So we got plans for both these things. Well, loose plans. I actually really like the plan for that. Is there... If all else fails, like depending on how he's executed, you might be able to sneak up to him and speak to him. But this won't be happening for a few episodes. We have a gala to go to first. But that's a good
Art
idea.
gala, art gala, art gala.
Is there anything we can do in the meantime? There is, actually. So gala,
Should we
To the
stake out the
gala.
place?
well, that's what Chester's going to work on
Yeah.
today and maybe part of the next day, is like, if we're done talking about stuff, we can start checking stuff out.
Sell your stuff.
Set up the stuff. And I actually think we're going to sell anything that we got because we actually might have, we'll sell the lasso.
Lasso's
But we'll worry
useless.
about that later, yeah. Fixed DCs is not great. But as far as the gala is concerned, Chester would like to do some research. And he
Okay.
would like to see if there are any gangs with nefarious intentions trying to scope out the place or have any plans on the street. Word on the street.
Okay. Roll society, you heathen. Are you going to go around town in Grayson's Fingers?
Yes, actually.
Roll your filthy society bonus.
Not underworld lore. Actually, I'd rather do society.
I think you have a skill feat that lets you
Oh,
use
yeah, you're right.
society instead of underworld lore.
So to recap, Chester's putting his ear on the street. That's not how it's phrased.
Chester slams his ear under the dirt.
Chester headbutts the road. Chester's just looking for a gang that's trying to do something like this, might put out word for hirees to work it. Stuff like that.
Do you go to a seedy tavern and just listen
That'd be
in?
part of it. He'd find out spots where he could look at the building and just like check it out a little bit. So society?
Society.
12 plus 19. 31.
I think you would know, Chester, that not a lot of criminal underworld gangs that you're used to operate in Grayson's fingers.
Uh-huh.
Because it is a bit upper crusty, except for like maybe people who are in power that have connections to it. But what you do know is you learned about the Leadsmiths, which were an organization of like private investigators, but also kind of mercenaries. Remember that
Is
from
it
the last
lead or
one?
lead?
I think it's lead or lead or lead. I'm not sure, honestly, but I think it's lead. Leadsmiths? That sounds like a foraging group. I'm going to go lead.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're detectives follow leads.
Yeah. But what you know is that they have a big presence around Two Men's Suite, almost like a security force.
Around.
The building that Christia Toomend is in.
Uh-huh.
They're almost like a security force around there.
So they might not, they'll be there, but they probably wouldn't be trying to do anything nefarious at the gala.
Probably not.
They're the security there.
Yeah. I think you found something connecting Lovelace and the Leadsmiths.
Yes. It's as Chester goes out, he realizes the minions are Leadsmiths, detectives/mercenaries, led by a shield marshal. So the people at the building were them, and they never saw us.
Nope.
How exciting.
But they might still be looking for us.
Yeah.
Why would they didn't even know we were there?
I mean, because they're working with the shield marshals, the corrupt ones.
Oh, okay. I was
Because
like,
Lovelace would be looking for us, they might be looking for us.
that makes sense, but we did not get detected to the best of our knowledge.
Yeah.
Just because you didn't get detected going into the Vault of Secrets doesn't mean that the shield marshals don't still know about you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Muglin knew about us and he's working with them and all that.
Yeah.
So he finds out that the Leadsmiths will be there.
Yeah.
More than likely. Anything else?
No.
Okay. When Chester gets back to the bar, he'll form. We'll need to use our hats of disguise for at least a little bit, cause they might have our faces.
I'm going to inform the Duchess of what we learned
I don't know if you can.
the next time that she sleeps.
What?
Is this your new spell?
What? No, I think
I've
you've had this one.
for a while.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, cool. Just not used it.
it hasn't been cast in a while.
I can send up to a minute of speech, about 150 words.
Yeah, Chester is done for the day.
So, a brief synopsis of what's up. And I assume that since she was up so early, and most court proceedings usually finish up by about 4 p.m., that she's gonna go home and nap soon. Which means I'm about to ruin her goddamn day.
That wasn't cryptic at all.
Okay, I guess we're doing this now. So Chester, you've scouted.
Just real quick, so I can put that in your mind. In my research, I happened to find out about the leader of the Leadsmiths.
Yeah, I think you did last time. If I remember right, you know that the leader of the Leadsmiths
Is a Cyclops gunslinger. My bad.
Yeah.
I never learned their name, but I got you. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So you finished scouting Chester, and then you want to wait till nighttime to cast your spell, Psychier?
Oh, no, I'll just send it. It
Okay.
takes 10 minutes to cast,
Okay.
and then as soon as she sleeps, she'll get it.
Let's see. So this is dream message, right?
Yes.
You send a message to the target's dream. The message is one way, up to 1 minute of speech, roughly 150 words. If the target is asleep, they receive them instantly. If not, they receive it the next time they sleep. As soon as they receive it, the spell ends and you know the message was sent. Okay. Let's, all right, hold on. Describe the dream you send to her.
Oh, so this is more than just a message.
Sure.
You just gave them power.
First of all, the Duchess is about to become their next follower. Second of all, here's the message.
Sleep arrives in the way that it most often does. A sort of gradient from awareness to the depths. This time, the depths are not completely black. They are not unconsciousness. And the Duchess finds that as she fades from her bedroom, as she fades from the carriage that she's riding in that lulls her to sleep, that she's standing in the cradle of quartz. She is standing in the sphere. Fog obstructs everything but the pillar that she stands on. And on the other side is Saikir. You're finally asleep.
All I hear is Skyrim. You're finally awake.
Rayloff, what are you doing here?
Rest well. Events are about to be set into motion. Here's what I've learned. And then Saikir will tell her very succinctly, very briefly.
Succinctly, because you only have 150 words. Why don't you tell me? I can start a timer, because it's about a minute.
Oh boy. All right, here we go.
All right, I got a timer. Just do your thing. I'll let you know when it's done. I'll do this for half.
We entered the Vault of Secrets. We left undetected. We found out that Lovelace is likely to interlude into an art gala in the coming days, and she is also seeking to tie up one of her suppliers, a loose end, a man named Wrangle, in a few days by executing him publicly. We have a plan to seek him out and to capture him so that we can find out more about where this was being delivered. If by any chance you have the ability to get me a meeting with him, I will be able to send him this message too, so he will comply. And I think that's about everything that Saikir needs to say.
Cool. Made it in a minute. Good job.
Nice job.
Okay. The spell happens. The dream happens. Good job. Do you have any bottle caps?
Do you have 2 bottle caps is the real question.
I have one.
Why don't you take a bottle cap for that?
Oh, yeah.
That was sick.
Nice use of a spell.
All right. So next day comes around. You guys get up at your more normal time. It's like here, maybe you're sleeping in after having some strange dreams yourself.
Oh,
and you hear,
what's the...
oh, you just had chili last night. It's fine.
No, I didn't.
You
Chili, cat food.
Listen, you smelt the chili, and when Galaby makes chili,
That's enough,
that's
I
all you
guess.
need.
It's dream
Why
powder.
don't you tell me about my dreams, Derek?
You dream the mana waste version of what Pyro's world looks like in TF2.
Oh,
I thought you were going to
Do
be
you
a lot
believe
more.
in
Except it's
magic?
all just spinny clocks and quartz and rocks and gears.
I thought you were going to be more spooky than that.
It's a silly dream.
I see.
I thought you would be like.
It's like Lisa Frank.
I thought you were going to be like
Clockwork.
The Duchess leaves
Yeah.
the sphere,
It's
the tentacles of darkness
Okay.
around the Saikir.
For the audience, I've discovered the nihilist Lisa Frank memes, and I am so into it. So you just have this like nihilist Saikir dream. Time has no meaning.
I see.
Okay, anyway, but you get a knock on your door. It's probably like 10 in the morning, and Don Smith is there. He says, I don't know what you did, but I got a runner from the Duchess today.
Really?
That says if you can find a way to disguise yourself, you can meet with Wrangle at
Wonderful.
a holding cell.
Oh, dang, it worked.
Ow. I smacked myself a lot.
I think it can only be one of you though, because if the 3 of you show up, it'll be suspicious. And you're
It
gonna have to
needs
use the
be
hat.
me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, whatever you can do today before the art gala, go ahead and get it done.
So does that mean I'm going to go?
Sure. I mean, you
All
can
right.
do this whatever point in time today.
So I will do that. I will use my spell.
Oh, also, the Duchess says to stay out of her dreams. If you need to send a message, just do it through me.
Unfortunately, no.
Hey, listen, if we want to get another head of disguise so you can still be disguised at the gala, they're only 30 gold. Which I say only, but it's actually, that's a decent little price.
Now, was there a picture of this man in the newspaper clipping? Or like a wanted poster that I saw of him so that I could have a facial feature slightly? He's a halfling. He's a gnome.
For
He's a
fuck's
gnome.
sake, he's a gnome.
I corrected myself immediately.
You found a newspaper clipping, but I don't think you found a picture of him.
Okay. Because I don't think I can change my size. So I'll just be a person interested in meeting him.
Yeah. You could claim to be someone who's a good friend.
Yes.
A found family, even.
Mhm.
Oh, that's my uncle, whatever his name is.
10 fingers.
I love
Uncle
him.
Wrangle.
Boomstick.
Hey, no, that's a real name. That's a real name.
I
People
gotta
know.
see my great uncle Wrangle before he dies.
Don't put my 10-finger boomstick uncle in this jail.
Why are you asking about a picture of him?
So this was before I realized that I couldn't change my size, just so that I could have a similar facial structure.
Okay.
But scrapping that's just gonna be I'm gonna be some other random person.
Okay. Well, you are able to go in. You disguise yourself. You go in basically to a more public-facing shield marshal outpost in Ferris Quarter, and they take you to a group of cells. So there, Wrangle. It's this tough-looking guy. You notice that he has the same tattoo on his neck, marking him as one of Lovelace's crew. And it's like, all right, Wrangle, you got a visitor here today.
Oh, I know exactly what I'm gonna be. I'm going to be a low, ranking priest of Bry, come to do some final rites.
Oh, that's very clever.
Okay. Now, this guy is going to kind of stand around while you're there. You're going to be talking through the bars to him in this long row of cells.
I've come to read this man some rites to see if he could absolve himself of sin before he faces the final judgment.
Wrangle here doesn't have rights no more. He's in the tank. He's going to be gone tomorrow this time of day.
This is not the rights of the body, sir, but the rights of the soul. Something that, powerful as you are, and thankful as I am for the power that you exude, keeping this town safe.
Make me a deception or a religion check.
23.
23?
For deception.
23?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
He says, and this was a deception?
Yeah.
All right, whatever. Just keep it up. Just keep it short. I'll be back here in about a minute. Is that enough time for you and your weird bribe bullshit?
It depends on how fucked up this guy is.
Well, don't be here all day.
I'll try my best. Thank you, officer.
You see that this gnome, Wrangle, he's just kind of hunched up in the corner in his cell, dejected looking.
So, about to do the final dance tomorrow, are we?
Yeah.
Regrets?
Just wish I knew what I did. They say I killed a man. I haven't killed anyone. I was just delivering things. Doing my job. I don't understand. Maybe I regret taking on the last job I did. Because if I had known it would end up like this, I might have moved away.
It seems as though you've kind of got a broken heart.
Yeah. I mean, I'm about to die, so I guess that's good enough reason for a heart to break as any.
There are ways for you to feel freedom once again, so long as you turn to Bry and her teachings, to learn and to improve, and to grow with time. Just make sure that you get a good night's sleep.
Okay. I mean, I don't know how much I can improve and what the point is if I'm just going to be off tomorrow for some thing I didn't do.
I believe you, and Bry believes you.
That's kind of comforting. I appreciate that.
Have they mentioned how you're going to be seen from the world?
They're going to hang me tomorrow at the old bridge.
I see. If, when you are up there, and you feel the warm, sharp embrace of Bry's metallic fingers around you, give in. You will be seen to a better place.
I don't know what you mean. Like she's just gonna swoop down with a big claw and grab me or something?
Oh,
that'd be pretty cool.
Explained in time.
Okay.
You're not alone, and I for one believe that you did not murder that man.
That's the first time anyone said that to me in this whole establishment. You a cop? You a fed? Are you a fed?
What are you, a fed?
Oh no, you could say that I'm kind of loveless for the shield marshals.
See just little wheels spinning in his mind. Also, since this is a gnome, you notice that part of him has started to go gray on the tips of his hair.
Experiencing the bleaching.
Because he thinks he's gonna die and
That's
he's in
why
jail.
he's so uncommunicative as well.
Aw.
He's got, what's it called?
The
Is it
bleaching. The
bleaching?
bleaching, yeah.
Aw.
But yeah, about this moment, the shield marshal guy comes back. All right, did he confess his sins to you, filthy murderer? Give him any of those Bry rights.
The world weighs heavy on him as it does with all of us. And while I can't understand his reasoning, we can only hope that there is absolution in the future.
Yeah, okay. Well,
And peace be with you too.
yeah, peace.
Captain.
Oh, thank you. My title. I'm pretty sure I'm just a sergeant. But anyway.
I tried to look at his. I don't know if you saw me like.
Oh,
juke
looking
it.
at his
yeah,
thing?
Yeah.
Well, let's gotta get you out of here now. All right, Wrangle, you
course.
dirty rascal. I'll see you tomorrow. And he takes you away. And so what are you going to cast dream message-wise for Wrangle?
The Cradle of Quartz is bathed in a very gentle bronze light. Something warm, something comforting, maybe nostalgic like a fire's glow. There is no fog, but a light drizzle of oil falling like rain that creates a shimmering pool around the center pillar of the Cradle of Quartz. And there stands Wrangle, unbound, free for the first time in a few, weeks?
Not weeks, days.
Days, and comfortable. And then there is a great metal claw that comes up out of the oil as Psycheer hauls themselves onto the pillar.
This isn't Dark Souls bullshit.
I would trust this dream person.
All right,
Be not afraid.
you ready to start it?
Yeah.
Fear is a normal reaction, being that you've only met me once, and I did not appear to you in this form. What you see is my true self, and what will approach you tomorrow. Being that you may not see me, but you will feel me, I will come to absolve you of the fate that awaits you. You will be shunted into a dark place before your death, and you will see light once more as someone not necessarily freed, but with a chance at freedom. All I ask is for your help in return whenever you see my face.
And the dream ends?
Not quite. Psycheer is going to get closer. Do I still have time left?
A little bit.
Okay.
10 seconds.
Well, you asked me that and then described that. And then Psycheer is going to get closer, and there is an oiled paw underneath his chin as they stoop down to see him. I know that you were framed, and I will see that you are freed.
Poof. Dream ends. All right. It's time to go to Art Gala, guys.
Hey, yo. Your dream's messed up.
All right, after your dream ends, you have the rest of the day to prepare because you guys are going to an art gala. And I think that's what we're going to pick up in our next episode.
That's fair.
Come on, I wanted to go to the art gala.
No,
Gala,
I didn't get to use my hero point.
gala.
We didn't get to use our hero points!
How dare you?
I'll give you
better
a
let
hero
us-
point mulligan. How about that?
Yes!
All right.
Yes!
You're going to need them.
Oh, boy.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Third Gallon Podcast. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing, rating, and reviewing us. If you want to see more from us, check out our website, thirdgallon.com, or follow us on Twitter. We are at Third Gallon, that's THIRD Gallon. We are also on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook with the same handle, at Third Gallon. We also publish a video version of this podcast on YouTube, which you can find on our channel, The Third Gallon Podcast. If you'd like to support the show, check out our Ko-fi page. You can find us at ko-fi.com/thirdgallon. That's KO-FI/3rd gallon. Our theme music for this season is Delta Rust, composed by Andy Ellison. Our ambience for this episode was composed by Michael Ghelfi, and you can find more of his work on his YouTube channel, Michael Ghelfi Studios. And you can support his awesome work at patreon.com/Michael Ghelfi. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.